Hello and welcome. This will be a reading for Libra for March 2023. Welcome to the table, Libra. I have pre-shuffled the cards, but I will shuffle them again for you. Flowers from my garden, I hope you enjoy it. Just feel like we've got the winds of change coming through at the moment. It's our first day of autumn for us and the first day of spring in the Northern Hemisphere. We've got leaves falling, and I hope that in the Northern Hemisphere you've got the first buds on the trees coming through, so that will be lovely for you too. Okay, let's start the reading. I use a 10-card spread, so 5 cards along the top row and 5 cards along the bottom row. I talk about those cards as they come out. Then I overlay them with a second deck of cards, and I talk about those cards as well. I do have a third deck on the table if I need it, but I try and avoid using that third deck. Okay, Libra, let's see what the cards have got to say to us today. First card out is 10 of Swords in reverse. Lovely. The Empress in the upright position. 7 of Swords in reverse. Okay, just move these across a little bit. The Fool. Lovely. And the Page of Wands. On the bottom row, we've got the 10 of Swords in reverse, the Empress in the upright position, 7 of Swords in reverse, the Fool upright and Page of Wands on the top row. They're in the upright position, the Fool and the Page of Wands. Bottom row, we've got the 6 of Swords in reverse, the Lovers in reverse, the Hanged Man in reverse, the Hermit in reverse, and the King of Pentacles in the upright position. I will show you the bottom of the deck, and I'll take a look too. Okay, it's the 2 of Cups in reverse. Okay, all right, let's have a talk about these cards. So we've got the 10 of Swords in the reverse position. So 10 of Swords coming to an ending. It can have been a painful ending in some cases, but it may not always be painful. But as you can see here, it's mirrored. So perhaps you're reflecting on an ending rather than actually going through the ending. Perhaps you're just remembering an ending. I don't actually think you're going through an ending. I just think you're thinking about an ending that's recently happened, something that's happened in the past. So I really don't think you've got another ending. I think you've already been through that. You've got the Empress, a beautiful energy. So this is the Empress. The Empress is always somebody who's fertile and creative and loving and kind. She can be a homemaker, she can be a mother, she can be a wife, she can just be somebody who is able to manifest things. If she wants something done, she will just go quietly about her business and do it. There's no fanfare with this person. She just quietly executes what she needs to do. So this is definitely not a drama queen. This is somebody who is more quiet and who goes with the flow. So this is not somebody who's going to make a big fanfare and a song and dance about something. Okay, we've got the 7 of Swords in reverse. So it could be that we've gone through a period of treachery or betrayal. I'll just take a look at this card. It's traditionally associated with betrayal and treachery and trickery. But I'm not feeling that today. I'm not feeling that it's so much about betrayal and trickery. I feel more that it's kind of a gridlock that you've got yourself into. A mental gridlock. I don't know why I'm feeling that today, but that's what I'm feeling. And it's asking you not to pull any more swords into this gridlock. So that's definitely what I'm feeling today. We've got the Fool. So this is a carefree new beginning. Starting off without too much thought about where you're going and what you're doing. You're just starting out. You don't care what the consequences are too much. You just want to start a new journey. So that's lovely. You can see that the path in the background leads to the moon, in the reflection of the moon in the ocean. So it does tell me that you don't know all the details of where you're going or what you're doing, but you are going to use your intuition, and you are definitely going to go towards this new path. So that's kind of a nice energy to have. You're not going to be frightened of any shadows on the wall either. You know, the shadows are not going to scare you. You're just going to go past them and deal with them as they come. You've got the Page of Wands. So this is enthusiasm about a new project. It's a new energy, so you're not mastering anything at this stage. It just looks like you've stepped up to the plate and you've decided you're going to do something. You're trying to pull down the energy from the cosmos to try and help you on your way. And you're doing your best, and you're just going to keep on focusing and pulling down that energy as much as you can, because you want to pursue this new dream. Okay, Six of Swords in reverse. So traditionally this card is about better times ahead. It's in the reverse position. So perhaps there's some delay in this situation, getting towards the better times ahead. And that could be because you're looking backwards at the moment. If you're reflecting on some past pain or past closure, that can hold you back from going forward. But I do think that you will be going forward. I do think that better times are ahead. But I think you've stopped to have a little look backwards. It's not necessarily the best idea, but that's just what we all do that. Sometimes we just need to look backwards. We need to look at what we've been through and let that consolidate. And if there was any pain attached to that, sometimes you need to go through that pain experience. Perhaps you haven't healed from that completely. Sometimes you just need to look at it again and reflect on it, and sort of put it to bed, maybe for the last time. But sometimes you do need to look at it just to make sure that you got all the lessons from it that you need to learn. Here we've got the Lovers in reverse. So the Lovers in reverse can be an energy of not achieving this divine union that perhaps you're hoping for. That's what I'm feeling with this card. And traditionally this card doesn't mean that, but today I'm feeling that perhaps you were hoping to have a very deep and meaningful union with another person, perhaps a soulmate, somebody that you can share everything with, and perhaps that hasn't arrived. You're feeling like this feels like there's a gap there. You're looking into the portal of that, but you're not there. That's on the other side for some reason. This actually feels like it's on the other side of some decision you need to make or some journey you need to take. These are almost like the Two of Wands. So perhaps not having stepped into that energy, or haven't found that energy yet. Got the Hanged Man here. It's in the reverse. So perhaps you need to take a different perspective on things. Perhaps you need to focus more on your inner star. Perhaps you need to allow your intuition to envelop you more. It could be that you're not allowing yourself the freedom to take that time out to just hang there and do nothing, and to just allow things to come to you. Perhaps you're trying to take hold of it too much. That could be the case. You've got the Hermit in reverse. I do think that that's over as well. I do think that's part of something that you've been reflecting on. I think that's part of this energy here of the Ten of Swords. I think you've gone back into the cave momentarily to have a little bit of a look at past pain, past hurts, past grief. Look at where you've come on your spiritual journey. and just have a little bit of a think. Sometimes you just need to retreat or take a step backwards, and it looks like you've taken a step backwards. This whole bottom row looks like you've taken a step backwards. You've got the King of Pentacles here. Now, the King of Pentacles, this is a mature energy. Now, a king with lots of pentacles will be able to have parties, he'll be able to have fun, he'll be able to spend. He's got security in his money, he knows the value of his money, he's probably worked hard for this money. He knows how to indulge himself, he knows how to buy gifts. This is a very loving energy, carefree energy, being wealthy and not being mean, not holding back on sharing that with the people he loves. He's not controlling. He's just generous and giving. So I'm not quite sure who this represents to you, who this is in your life, Libra, but we'll see if we can work that out. You do have the Two of Cups in reverse. So the Two of Cups traditionally would be about finding new love or a partnership, like a business partnership. Pardon me. It just feels like you're waiting for something to come. And you keep waiting and waiting, and you keep on going into that emotion, waiting for things to turn up, and that just doesn't come your way. Let's have a look, see if we can figure out what's going on and why this is here. This is a union of people feeling as one. So perhaps at the moment you're feeling a little bit isolated and separated and not in union either with yourself or your subconscious, or perhaps you're not in union with your partner at the moment. Perhaps this pulling back energy maybe has left you feeling separated. Let's see if we can clarify this reading. By the way, when I do use the gong to clear the table. So Libra, while I was clearing the table, I did see a sort of almost like a railroad track with stepping stone pebbles along the path of the railroad track. And then I saw a giant millipede, and the millipede was also stepping, but he was stepping into mud and leaving beautiful little craters where every little leg that he'd walked in had filled. So again, it was a little bit like the stepping stones. So it was I think both of them were trying to say something about the stepping stones of life, because the millipede was walking along, putting his foot in the mud, sucking it up, and a beautiful little crater was left behind, whereas the other one was just plain stepping stones. So I thought I'd pass that on. Sometimes something comes up in the reading that gives it some relevance, but at the moment there doesn't seem to be anything that's giving this relevance. So let's clarify this Ten of Wands and see if we can figure out what's going on. I really do think that's you're just reflecting that energy back to yourself and thinking about past hurts and past pain. Let's have a look what's clarifying here. So we've got the Four of Pentacles. Okay. I'll put them out first and then I'll talk about them. So can we clarify the Empress, please? It's interesting that the Empress has got up the top there a little bluebird, and I have a blue wren sitting outside my window. Very beautiful little bird, and he's been twittering and tweeting and posturing and posing on the handrail of my veranda. Oops, okay, that one. Six of Swords. So again, you've got the Six of Swords here, and so it's in the upright position. So definitely good times come, leaving bad times behind. Seven of Swords. Can we clarify Seven of Swords? It's also rather interesting that here we've got a crescent moon, very much a new moon and a new moon. So I am feeling that perhaps this is something you've done as we're starting out a new cycle, that you're looking backwards momentarily, just sort of to reflect on the things, and you've sort of stopped and just gone back into your cave for momentarily to just have a little bit of a think about what it is you want and where you're going. Let's clarify the Seven of Swords. Two of Swords. Yeah, see, closing off your heart. I actually don't feel that's so much a decision, although it can be a decision. I do feel perhaps you've closed off your heart momentarily. Let's clarify the Fool. Ten of Wands in the reverse position. Page of Wands. Can we clarify the Page of Wands? Five of Pentacles. Now can we clarify the Six of Swords in reverse? Three of Cups. The Lovers in reverse. Four of Swords. Yeah, needing a rest. Yeah, you're not up to that energy at the moment. That's interesting. Okay. The Hanged Man in reverse. Four of Cups. Okay. And the Hermit. Knave of Swords. So this is the Page of Swords. And the King of Pentacles. We've got the Magician. Okay, and on the bottom of the deck, I'll show you first. What have we got? Okay, Five of Swords. Okay. Straight away, what came to me, as soon as I put that Five of Swords down, I'm feeling self-sabotage, self-sabotage and gossip. Okay, we've got quite a few fours on the table, so I do think, as I said with this Ten of Swords, I do think you're taking some time to stabilise yourself. You're probably hanging on too tightly. You're probably, from the past pain that you've had, or past grief or upsets or bad experiences, you've probably clamped down and just shut down, pulled your blankets around you, pulled the hood over your head, and just hunkered down for a little bit. Normally this would be associated with hanging on too tight with money, but I think hanging on too tight perhaps to your world, perhaps a little bit too tight with your world, feeling that you don't want to lose where you are now, too much perhaps in your comfort zone. That could be the case too. Okay, we've got the Six of Swords, so again this one, although this one's in the upright position, so moving on to better times. So that's a lovely energy to have here on top of the Empress. So the Empress, then in that case, of course, the Empress will be in her full power and moving on to better times. That goes with your family, leaving all the bad times behind. And there's no going back, by the way, when you see this card. They've actually undertaken this journey. So there is no going back. It's quite a lovely card. So very positive energy coming here. I do think perhaps that you've been too tight in your comfort zone, or reflecting too much on what you hold dear and not wanting to let that go. That's probably an element of fear. You know, fear coming in, probably as you've reflected on this Ten of Wands. So I do think perhaps you've been holding a little bit too tightly due to fear. Again here, this Two of Swords. You know, I do think perhaps that you may be closing off your heart here. It may be, again, this fear of this betrayal or pain or trickery or theft or betrayal. I do feel that perhaps you have momentarily stepped into that fear mode and closed off your heart and saying, I don't want to go there again. That's what I'm feeling with this card today. Traditionally, this card may mean decisions, and you could be undergoing a decision or thinking about a decision. But I think actually because it's in the reverse position, perhaps you're not willing to make a decision. You don't want to look at it because you're frightened. And I do think fear has stepped into your reading. I'm feeling fear. There's too many fours. So I think you're probably nervous about losing what you've got, and it's probably taken you a long time to get where you are. Okay, now we've got the 10 of Wands in reverse. So, you know, this is heavy burdens. I'll show it to you as it would look like that. So if you look at it like that, you know, it looks like you haven't quite got the fire going again. It's sort of like if you were building a fire, for example, you would put the wands in this position and light the fire, and then the flames would ignite upwards. So I do feel perhaps that this burden or whatever it was you were carrying, it does look like it's gone. It's in the reverse position, but I don't think the fire has quite hit you yet. I feel like you haven't quite fully ignited the passion or enthusiasm for life yet. Even though you're undertaking this journey, I don't think you're feeling the passion or the enthusiasm. I think that may take a little bit further to come. Perhaps you've lost your trust, and I do think this can be a betrayal of trust. It's in the reverse position, so it could be that you've had a betrayal of trust, and you know your intellect is not allowing you to step beyond the confines of that fear. You've got the Page of Wands. So on top of the Page of Wands, we've got this Five of Pentacles energy. Again, this is a sense of, normally this would be about being out in the cold, or perhaps financial loss, or not having sufficient money. And perhaps that's something that you're fearing. Again, I'm feeling that it's more of a fear than an actual scenario. And it's probably associated with this new venture or this new enterprise that you're taking up. I think perhaps you're fearing failure, perhaps. I do think there's an awful lot of fear on the table today. So I think Libra, you know, we're not perhaps not stepping out and allowing things to come to us, and then we're blocking this energy because this is right in the middle here. I do think we're blocking the energy from coming to us out of fear and not wanting to lose what ground we've made up. And perhaps you know, we all get into a situation like that when we've gone through bad experiences. You kind of brace yourself for more bad experiences, and you don't want to go there again because they're painful, they hurt, it takes a long time to recover. So this natural fear that comes in here, of fear of letting go, a fear of being betrayed a second time, fear of gossip, fear of, say, slander and gossip and people talking about you in a negative way, maybe that's there as well. Okay, let's have a look at this Three of Cups. Time to come out of your shell and have some fun. Time to have a little bit of a party, meet some friends, go out, have a little drink, relax a bit, go out for a meal, go out and do something fun. So, you know, that's got this Six of Swords, a bit of a delay coming out of this Six of Swords here at the beginning, although you've got it up here as well. I think the delay is also holding you back from getting out there and having some fun. All right, now here we've got the Four of Swords. This is on top of the Lover's card. And this Four of Swords is about pain and rest, exhaustion, weariness, having worked at something too long. You're now utterly weary and exhausted. So I do think you need to still take lots of rest. Whenever you feel that you need a rest, whenever you feel the fear rising up within you, I think put down the swords, put down your tools, take a little pause, have a little rest, forget about it, because I think perhaps the fact that you haven't got this fire in you yet, I don't think you can sustain what you're doing if you don't take sufficient rest. And this feeling of not getting into this space of the Lovers, I think it's because, again, if these were wands, they would have the flame at the top. It feels like it's in the reverse position. It feels like that passion and that fire inside you has gone out somewhat. So do take some rest. If you need rest, take as much rest as you need, because otherwise you go back, you take a step backwards. If you don't give yourself sufficient rest, you only push all your energies backwards, and you re-enter the zones of thinking about the past hurt, the past pain, your past bad experiences, and perhaps things you didn't succeed at or that you would have liked to have done better. It's very easy to step back into that painful situation if you're not well rested. So do take lots of rest whenever you need to get that rest. Four of Cups. Here is somebody who's tried to take a shortcut. Four of Cups. Again, a little bit of overindulgence, but I always call the Four of Cups the dis cup. Discontent, disengagement, discouraged, all the words that begin with dis, it can be, that can count for this card. Okay, you've been dissuaded to do something, you're discouraged, you're discontent, all of those things. You can think of a lot of other dis words, and believe me, they will fit this card. So this Hanged Man is supposed to be getting a new perspective, but I think you're probably finding it hard to find a new perspective on things. So again, it goes back to having even this person is lying in a hammock. Perhaps it's just time for you to take more rest, relax more. And I guess that's really the theme of it here, would be to relax a little bit more if you can. Have some fun and relax a little bit more. Page of Swords. So Page of Swords, this can be somebody very inquiring, learning, going against the grain, going against your own intuition, going in against your better judgment. Can be a rebel. Okay, somebody who likes to do things differently. So it's any one of those things. It's rather interesting that it's on top of the Hermit, because the Hermit is talking about the Hermit normally traditionally would have a lot of strength from the adversity that they've gone through. So this is somebody who has built up reserves of endurance, perseverance. With this Knave of Wands on the top, it can feel, it sort of feels a little bit like, this can almost feel a little bit like irritability, impatience. I want to get going. I want to move, but I think that you need more of this chill out time, because he is just, I feel he's impatient, irritable. He's like, get me out of my cave. I want to get going, and he doesn't really want to stop and wait. This is somebody then who's got a sharp mind and who has already figured out what they want, and they want it fast. So perhaps being in too much of a hurry, perhaps having not thought out things completely, just a little bit impatient. I just feel that it's a bit of impatience. Going against the grain is sort of how I'm feeling as well. That's the words that are coming to me. Do have the Magician, though. So this is rather lovely. Magician, a little bit of magic. So everything is on that table. I think you're hoping for a little bit of magic, but when this card is on the table, sometimes a little bit of magic does come. It's rather interesting that it's on top of this King of Pentacles. Now, the King of Pentacles traditionally would mean also that your finances are in a good state of affairs. So with a little bit of magic on top of the King of Pentacles, either someone is coming towards you who is going to reinvigorate your finances. That's how I'll put it. Reinvigorate your finances. Perhaps offer you some good advice with investments, but again, I'm not qualified to make that statement in terms of investments, but perhaps somebody who might give you a bit of a leg up with investments, who can help you financially. That could be that you're getting a little touch of the magic coming your way. Now, I did say straight away that I felt that this was either self-sabotage or you being worried about gossip and sort of people talking behind your back. That's very much the energy I felt that came with this card today. It can be angry words or nasty words, but I'm not feeling that at all today. I just feel that you're worried about what people may be saying behind your back. And that could be that you sense that there's somebody out there who's a little bit jealous, and if there's money coming towards you, that this will definitely aggravate this energy of jealousy, and then people can be gossipy or a little bit nasty behind your back. It's rather interesting that the Two of Cups here is in reverse. So normally this would be a very loving energy between two people. So I do think that you're feeling that your cup of love is not completely full. Perhaps you're not engaging very well with your partner at the moment. Perhaps you feel a little bit of disappointment there. But if you've been taking a step back from life and perhaps going into that reflection mode, reflecting on things under the light of the moon, and that can be in the night time, then once you take a step back, then you become disconnected too from your partner, the person you care about. So again, you've got this situation here where then this passion, this unity between two people, or this soulmate connection is not quite right, because you've got too many energies of confusion and doubt and reliving past hurts hanging over you all the time. And I do think the biggest thing for you, Libra, is still taking rest. Take lots of rest. I do think some little bit of magic will come soon. And the fact that you've got the Empress in the upright position and leaving the bad times behind, I think that's a very good thing. You are starting a new journey. Does look like you've got a new project on the go. Don't be so worried about its financial outcome, because you've got the King of Pentacles here. So somebody may be coming to give you a bit of a hand financially about something, or you may receive advice from somebody who's maybe more mature, more worldly, and more knowledgeable in business. So that could be coming. So because that's got the Magician on top. So I don't think you need to worry too much about the financial outcome of your situation, the project you're following. I do think you need to let go of this fear of past hurts coming back to get you. I think they're a thing of the past, and I do think you've just been reflecting on that perhaps a little bit too much. And that can be in the night, perhaps, because this is a card of the night. So thinking over past hurts, past wounds, past lessons that you've needed to learn, that's why we get these lessons, so that we do learn. I'm not going to clarify any further. I think it's fairly obvious that you've pulled back a little bit, but you are on your way, so just keep going. But I think you do need to rest fairly often. I do think that you're not completely recovered yet from your past experiences. I think you've got a little bit more to go. Gradually you will feel this passion back again in your life, this unity with life perhaps, and it could be, again, this can be your conscious and your subconscious mind. The Lovers isn't always about physical love. It can be just about your conscious and your subconscious mind. And I do think when I was talking, actually it's making a little bit more sense to me now, when I was talking about doing the gonging and I was seeing those little stepping stones and the millipede with all these little footprints, I do think what that's suggesting, Libra, is that there are 1,000 little steps still to take. Maybe lots of little steps. So that's where this card here, and I did say I felt impatience and going against the grain. This is sort of, you know, trying to push forward when you're not really ready to push forward, you know, thinking you know everything when you don't quite know everything, when you're still learning, and this person is still learning. So while you're still learning, it does look like there's going to be quite a few more steps to go. So I do think that's probably what that millipede and the stepping stones was all about, trying to say take little steps instead of trying to take big steps. You will get there. I think you just need a little bit more rest and a little bit more time out and about, perhaps with friends, and having a little bit more fun. Okay, I'm going to leave the reading there, Libra. Thank you very much for watching. I do hope it's helped. Bye for now.